Good afternoon. Here is the national news from BGI TV, Babagagede Imo TV. I am Morire Rabila Lawal. First are the major headlines for the national news. Wikipedia partners Yoruba World Center. Buhari directs SGF ministers to prepare handover north. ASU, FG begs NLC to allow registration of Konwa Namda. Tension in Ondo coastal communities over killing reprisal. And on sport, FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup, Flamingos to face the United States in quarterfinals. The news in detail. To promote, preserve, and protect the Yoruba history, language, and culture, Wikipedia, the world's largest online encyclopedia, has started a partnership with the International Center for Yoruba Arts and Culture, the Yoruba World Center. The collaboration interest was presented to the center last Saturday at the University of Ibadan by the Yoruba Wikimedians user group, one of the 183 international representatives of Wikimedia Foundation Incorporation, the operators of Wikipedia. The Wikimedians were led by President Mikhail Sadiq and Ishaq Olatunde, the administrator of Yoruba Wikipedia in Nigeria, while they were received by a team led by the coordinator of the Yoruba World Center, Ogbeni Alao Adedayo. The core objective of this collaboration is to promote a strong relationship between the Yoruba World Center and the Wikipedia community by promoting digital content inclusion on Yoruba Wikipedia with verified and reliable sources in a manner that will be acceptable to the entire Yoruba language users, traders and readers, writers and enthusiasts within Nigeria and in diaspora. According to Olatunde, the administrator, the intention of the Wikimedians is to use the resources of the Yoruba World Center to improve the quality and credibility of content on Yoruba Wikipedia and to promote the center among Yoruba academics, students and researchers all over the world. Responding, the YWC coordinator recounted that the center had been on ground since 2014 but was formally presented to the public by the Vice President, Professor Yomi Oshibajo, late last year and has lived up to expectations at the engine room for documentation, preservation and promotion of Yoruba history, language, art and culture. He told the gathering that the centers in collaboration with other language and cultural development organizations like the Center for Yoruba Language Engineering, Egbe Akomolede Atiasha, the Yoruba Studies Association, YSAN, the Down Commission and others, so as to be able to deliver on its mandate. I believe this will go a long way in achieving the desires of Wikipedia. Moving on to the next story. The presidency on Tuesday gave indications that it has started winding down the administration as the president, Muhammadu Buhari, directed the secretary to the government of the Federation, SGF, Boss Mustafa, and his cabinet members to start preparing their handover north. The directive was also laced with a subtle warning to the ministers, permanent secretaries, and heads of government agencies against abandoning the business of governance for electioneering. President Buhari said any infraction against the directive will be viewed seriously. He issued the directive at the closing ceremony of the 2022 Ministerial Performance Review Retreat, preceded by his signing of Executive Order 012 on improving performance management, coordination and implementation of presidential priorities. Daily Independent recalls that the administration of President Buhari will come to its climax on May 29, 2023, having served out 2 terms as elected civilian president. Buhari had seized the 2-day ministerial retreat to appraise his administration's performance in the last 7 years, plus to score himself high, noting that he had met the yearnings of Nigerians on critical infrastructure. His assessment comes despite divergent views by many Nigerians in the last 7 years. Buhari at the retreat told participants that with the commencement of campaigns towards the 2023 general elections, the business of governance must continue to receive the needed attention during this period. Going on to the next story as regards ASU. The federal government is keen on reducing the influence of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, in Nigeria. The union embarked on an industrial action on February 14th and maintained its ground for 8 months, leaving public universities closed. The government now wants the Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, to allow the registration of 2 new academic unions. Minister of Labour and Employment Chris Igige made the call on Tuesday in a statement by Olajude Oshudun, head of public relations in the ministry. The unions, Congress for Nigeria University Academics, CONUA, and Nigeria Association of Medical and Dental Academics, NAMDA, earlier received letters of recognition from the government. In response, NLC President Ayuba Waba demanded withdrawal of the letters issued on the ground that their registration contravened the laws guiding their unionism. But Ngige, in his reply, appealed to the NLC to allow the new bodies to exist in the spirit of freedom of association. The minister said the Trade Dispute Act 2004 gives him the sole power to register new trade unions, either by registering a new union or regrouping existing ones. Ngige explained that the new unions were offshot or byproducts of regrouping, and their applications were considered by 2 communities of his ministry. In case you're just joining, you are watching the national news from BGI TV. Next to come, a purported plan by Ijaw youth to avenge the alleged murder of one of the kingsmen from Akpata in Ese, Ondo, local government area of Ondo State, has caused tension in some communities in Ilaje local government area of the state. Following the development, residents of the riverine communities, especially children and women, have begun fleeing in large numbers out of fear of reprisal attack. The tension situation began when Bekewe Mayomi Alonge, age 35, who had gone missing on October 2nd after leaving Baramatu community, Delta State for work, was found murdered the next day. Bekewe's family members and friends confirmed that the disease arrived in the Ilaje community of Awi, pointing out that it was said to have been spotted in a specific hotel in the community. According to sources, the disease was also allegedly spotted by some Ijaw people with his wrists, legs, and waist all bound with heavy objects. Completing the national news is a sports story. Nigeria's Flamingos will face the United States in the quarterfinals of the ongoing Under-17 Women's World Cup, India 2022. Nigeria made it to the knockout round after finishing as Group B runners-up, following 2 wins and a loss in 3 games. The Flamingos claimed a narrow 2-1 win over Chile on Monday, with goals from Blessing Emmanuel, Bisola Musaku overshadowing Tali Robinson's stopping penalty. The West Africans had earlier brushed past New Zealand 4-0 to recover from an opening day defeat to Germany 2-1. The US, on the other hand, emerged as Group A winners with 7 points, aimed from 2 victories and a draw. The young Emirates host India 8-0 and drew 1-1 with Brazil, before forcing a falling humble pie down the throat of Morocco. Nigeria and the United States have never met at this level, but the 2008 World Cup runners-up will be favourite against Africa's best under-17 national team. The Flamingos have never progressed beyond the quarter-final stage of the Mundial, getting knocked out at that stage in 2010, 2012, and 2014. The Americans are also hunting for a first title triumph at the World Cup. That ends the national news this hour. Before we go, some major headlines. Wikipedia partners Yoruba World Center. We also brought to you Buhari direct SGF ministers to prepare an over north. We also brought to you ASU FG begs NLC to allow registration of CONUA, NAMDA, and finally sports. FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup, Flamingos to face the United States in quarterfinals. For more updates on YouTube, our handle is Babagede Imo TV. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell. Select option all to access our broadcast. On Facebook, Bagede Imo with Alawiye Adebayo. Please like and follow the page. On Instagram, Bagede Imo _22. For advert placement of your goods and services, coverage of events and functions, please dial the phone number streaming on the screen for advert placement only. Thank you for watching. I am Morire Rebila Lawal. Good afternoon.